Hello, friends. Welcome to Level Up with Debbie Neal. I am your host. There is nowhere I would rather be than right here, right now with you. This podcast is all about leveling up in all aspects of our lives. Thank you for being here. I am so grateful. I'm excited to be on this journey with you. Together, we are leveling up. You ready? Hello, my Level Up friends. I hope you're absolutely amazing. I'm extra amazing because this past weekend, my baby girl, got married. So I'm just extra excited to be here. I'm filled with so much love. I'm filled with so much gratitude. And it also reminds me of why I do what I do. You know, this is totally on a separate note. Do you guys have a why that makes you work? Do you have a why that makes you work? Because there will be days that you don't feel like it. There will be days that you don't feel like picking up the phone. There'll be days that you don't feel like getting in your car. There'll be days that you don't feel like getting up after you fall. But do you have a why that makes you work? And I could see when the whole wedding came together this weekend, all the time, all the effort, all the money. And I thought to myself, I am so grateful that I worked even when I don't feel like it. And I'm so grateful that I had a why that I kept in front of me all the time. And I'm also so grateful that my daughter and her new husband had the most beautiful day, and we all did. So anyway, welcome back to Level Up with Debbie Neal. Here's what I want to let you know about where you are. You might be a first-time listener, and I've got some messages recently. Just found your podcast. So glad I found your podcast. I'm so grateful you found this podcast as well, because this is a podcast. Our time together, you're going to go higher. You're going to push harder, and you're going to live bolder. We're meant to live bold. Like, you're just not meant to live just an ordinary life. And if you're here today because deep down, you know that you were created for more. So today, what we're going to talk about is really important. It's really misunderstood, and it's really important. It's a very important principle of success. It's the marriage of faith and action together. Faith is the spark. Like, that's kind of what gets you going. It lights your soul on fire. It gives you the hope of something more. I said yes to the business I'm in because it gave me hope. It sparked my faith. I was like, what if I am made for more? What if this is the answer? So faith is the spark. Action is the fuel. So like when I was introduced to my business, if I had this faith and I had this hope, but I didn't take action, it would have never resulted in where it is today. When the two come together, nothing and no one can stop you. How powerful is that? Like, you're going to have businesses cyclical, people will come and go, moods will come and go. But when you have faith and action together, nothing is going to stop you. And so many people live on one side or they live on the other. So what do I mean by that? So some people can have tons of faith. They talk about their dreams, they believe, they have hope, they pray, but like they never move, right? There's also those people that like, they do tons of personal growth, and maybe you're listening to this podcast and maybe you're reading lots of leadership books, but like, if you don't apply this, you have faith, right? But then there's the other people. And then the other people, they're out there, they're grinding, they're hustling, they wear themselves out, taking action. But deep down, they don't really believe that it's possible for them. And you hear this all the time. I know I say it all the time. We operate at our belief level. So if you don't have faith, you have what it takes. If you don't have faith that the end result is your goal or even something better, then your results are always going to bring that into your reality. So both sides are incomplete. Just having faith and no action, incomplete. Grinding out there and taking action without faith, incomplete. But when you combine unshakable faith with consistent action, you activate a level of power that will move mountains in your life, that will move mountains in your business and bring the impossible, or what you think is impossible, to the inevitable. Okay. So let's define faith and success, because the two absolutely go hand in hand. Faith is not just hoping. Faith isn't positive thinking. Faith is an unshakable knowing. It's a certainty in the unseen. It's looking at your current reality, maybe your bank account, maybe your business numbers, maybe your team, maybe your circumstances, maybe where you are standing right now in the month, and saying, this does not define me. My vision defines me. My faith matched with action defines me. Faith is being able to walk in confidence towards a goal that has not yet materialized yet, because you already see it in your mind and you already believe it with every ounce of your heart. And so think about when a farmer is planting seeds. We always use this analogy of planting and sowing. Like if they're going to put seeds in the ground, do you think they're going to run back to the soil the next morning and go into a deep panic and scarcity because they don't see the crops yet? No. And you know why? It's because they trust the process. They water, they nurture, they believe. That's faith. And so when you think about your business, your dreams, and your goals, they are seeds. But here's the truth. You can't microwave a harvest. You can't fast forward growth. Sometimes we talk about like seeing growth quickly. I know that I did in my business, but like I was working 7 days a week. If my eyes were open, I was selling the dream, talking to people, sharing the opportunity, sharing the products. I didn't let rejection in my heart. So I obviously supersized my results because I supersized my effort. But you can't fast forward growth, but you can believe with absolute certainty that what you planted will grow. And so faith is that bridge between your current reality and your future destiny. It's totally invisible to the eye, but it's undeniable to your spirit. Like you absolutely know. And then on the opposite, there's a trap of faith without action. So here's the trap. So some people stop at faith. They're like, I have total faith. They believe it's possible. Like, I know it's going to happen. If it's God's will, it's going to come into my business. And that's all beautiful. But if you stop there, your faith is passive. Your faith is passive. You can pray for strength, but you still have to pick up the weight. You can believe for success, but you still have to do the work. You can have a vision for a big, amazing team, but you still need to ask people to join you and lead them across that finish line. The truth is faith without action, it's just daydreaming. So I want you to really imagine saying, I believe that I'm going to run a marathon. So my younger son, is going to Italy for the semester. He's leaving Monday, and he's actually running a marathon, a 25-mile marathon in Portugal while he's studying abroad. I'm like, my kids are so much better than me. Number one, I wish I studied abroad. I didn't. Number two, when I was in college, I could barely run to the mailbox. Never mind run a marathon. Okay. But let's just imagine saying and he has a training program. Tyler is going to be sending him workouts. He's going to work out every single day and prepare and train. He's not just going to say, I think I'm going to run a marathon and then not do anything about it. Right. So you can't say, I believe I'll run a marathon and never train, never run, and never lace up your shoes. I want you to imagine saying, I believe that I'm going to build a thriving business. I'm going to lead my team to the top of my company, but you never make the calls. You don't show up. And if you do show up, your camera's off. You're never putting yourself out there. You're not asking boldly. Faith is the ignition key, but action is pressing the gas pedal. One without the other, you're just sitting in the driveway. You're not going anywhere. You need them both. So let me ask you, where in your life have you been believing but not moving? Maybe you believe in your company, believe in your business opportunity, but you're simply not moving, and you're waiting for a miracle to come in your life, realizing that you are the miracle. Where have you said the words but not followed through with the work? Like maybe you made a declaration, maybe you set a goal, but are your actions really backing those words? Because that is the gap where dreams die. Your dreams die between making that declaration and not taking the actions to fulfill it. And it's also the gap where champions are born. Because when you fill it with action, your faith takes on power. I love when people look at certain people like, what do they have that I don't? What are they doing that I'm not? Well, chances are they're not scrolling and getting lost in life's distractions, and they're taking bold action. They're filling up their calendar. If you're one of those people that wonders, like, I feel like I'm working, open up your calendar. What does your week look like? What does your day look like? What does the next 24 hours that you're creating look like? And then the important thing is to trust the process. So this is where so many people stumble. You're taking action, you're doing the work, you're showing up, and yet nothing seems to be happening. Has that ever been you? Have you ever I don't understand, I'm putting in the work. And this is the exact place that most people quit. And they don't just quit, meaning they make an announcement. They stop pursuing excellence. They stop going for it. They confuse delay with denial. But faith allows you to trust the process, even when your eyes cannot see the results yet. Faith says, I know the results are happening underground. I know I'm 3 feet from gold. I know that my next ask is going to be big and bold and enroll somebody that's amazing. I know the roots are growing. I know my work is compounding. This is why action without faith burns people out. Have you ever felt tired, exhausted, and you're looking for something else? That's because you're working, but you've lost the faith. You've lost your vision. Because when the results don't show up right away, you lose hope. But when you have faith, you understand. You get it. You understand that just because you can't see it, it doesn't mean it's not happening. Think about the gym. You don't go one time, look in the mirror and say, well, I don't have the abs yet. Going to the gym doesn't work. No, because you trust and you understand that the compound effect of showing up will create transformation. And here's the truth. The process is molding you. You know how every home has that spot that you think about throughout the day? That place that allows you to finally exhale. And for me, it's like cuddling up on my couch with a really good book. And Cozy Earth just sent me their dreamy bubble cuddle blanket. And I have to tell you, friends, it's literally next level. When life is stressful or you're burnt out, what's the one place in your home that you think to retreat to? So the bubble cuddle throw blanket is the absolute best. It's big, it's cozy, it's classy, it's beautiful. Honestly, it's perfection. They even have a 100-night sleep trial. Try them out. If you don't love them, return them hassle-free, but trust me, you will not want to. If you want the best sheets, blankets, towels, and more, head to cozyearth.com and use my code Debbie in all caps for 40% off. And make sure you let them know you heard about Cozy Earth right here, because your couch and bed should be more than a place to relax and sleep. It should be your happiest place. Cozy Earth makes that possible. When we were young, we used to dream of being anything: an astronaut, the president, a prince, princess. But as you get older, your dreams change, focusing less on running the world and more on how you can take your skills and ideas and turn them into something real. Instead of dreaming of going to space or owning a castle, maybe you start dreaming of owning your own business. You'll need a website, a payment plan, a logo, and a way to advertise to new customers. It can all be overwhelming and confusing, but thankfully, that is where today's sponsor, Shopify, comes in. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started. What if people haven't heard about my brand? Shopify helps you find your customers with easy-to-run email and social media campaigns. And what if I get stuck? Shopify's always around to share advice with their award-winning 24/7 customer service. Turn those dreams into and give them the best shot at success with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and get selling today at shopify.com/level up. Go to shopify.com/level up. Shopify.com/level up. Every day, trust. Every day you keep going. Every day you hold the vision while doing the work. You're being refined. You're being strengthened and you're being prepared for the results that you're asking for. The process, although can be painful, growth is not comfortable, friends. The process is not punishment. The process is preparation. Faith is what keeps you steady in that preparation season. It's like the knowing, the believing, the gratitude. You have like this excitement for what's coming. And it's so important to hold on to your vision. You know, I say this all the time. I protect my vision like it's worth billions. And why? Because it's priceless. You will be surrounded by people who are naysayers. You will be surrounded by people who are negative. You will be surrounded by people who talk about odds. You will be surrounded by people that talk about scarcity. But here's the thing about vision. It's your anchor. It keeps you rooted. When life gets stormy, when your business gets stormy, when the winds blow, and when reality doesn't look like what you are believing for, your vision is what's going to keep you steady. Vision is not optional. It's not optional. Vision is the picture that pulls you forward when your feelings want to hold you back. Faith and vision work together. Faith is believing and knowing it will happen. Vision is seeing it in your mind as if it already has. Like if you could see it, if you could see yourself at the position you want, if you could see yourself with the income you want, if you could see yourself in the house that you want, if you could see yourself in the car that you want, you're going to go through the motions because you're like, yeah, there it is. I can see it. All right. And here's the thing. Your vision must live in your mind and in your heart every single day. It's not a place that you could visit once in a while. It's not like something that just, oh yeah, I need a vision. You want to see your vision when you wake up. You want to see your vision when you go to bed. You want to talk about it. You want to declare it because what you focus on expands and what you hold in your heart becomes your reality. If you let go of your vision, you let go of your fuel. If you hold on to your vision, nothing can stop you. So the work, dreams take work. Goals take work. Success takes work. But now let's get really real because faith is powerful. Vision is powerful. But at the end of the day, you must do the work. Like you can't just make a vision board, look at it every single day, and it's going to land in your living room. Okay. When you combine faith with the work feels different. That's when it feels like inspired action. That's when you get yourself excited. It's not heavy. It's not hopeless. It's not draining because you know where it's leading you. High performers do the work consistently. They show up on the days that they don't feel like it. They keep their standards high when no one is watching. They move with excellence, not because of what they're seeing in the moment, because of what they know with all of their heart is coming. Action proves faith. And every single step you take is saying to the world and is saying to yourself, I believe this is happening and I am willing to back it up with action. So often we hear like people think, oh, do they have skills that I don't have? There are people that have skills that you don't have. You can learn any skill. Most people don't lack skill. They lack will, the willingness to back up their goals with action. Okay. And when you live like that, when you live with faith and action together, you are unstoppable. So here's the thing, my friends. Faith without action is incomplete. Action without faith is exhausting. But when you combine the two, you become a force of nature. Faith is your knowing. Action is your proof. Vision is your anchor. And trusting the process is your pathway. So I want to challenge you this week, okay? When have you had the faith but not taken the action? Where have you been working hard but let go of your faith? And how can you align the two so they're growing together in power? Because here's the truth. You know that you were created for more. Your vision is already alive. The only question is, will you combine your faith with the relentless action? Not like, oh my gosh, I'm going to give it a whirl, like relentless action that's required to bring your goals and your dreams to reality. It's about holding the vision. It's about trusting the process. It's about doing the work. It's about knowing that it's already yours and claiming it. So as we are stepping into the fourth quarter, if you're listening to this on time, okay, we're about to step into the fourth quarter of the year. And this is where champions are made. This is where commitments are tested. This is where words are either backed up with action or they're exposed as empty promises. Here's the truth. God does not reward the actions you don't take. You cannot expect a harvest from seeds you never planted. You cannot expect momentum from steps you've never walked. We are about to close out another year, and this is not the time to coast. This is not the time to take your foot off the gas. This is the time to finish strong. And I want you to ask yourself, what actions am I committed to taking in this final stretch as we approach the fourth quarter? Where have I allowed excuses to creep in? And how am I going to eliminate them right now? And what does it look like for me to live in my commitment and my word? And not just when it's convenient, but when it's hard, when it's inconvenient, and when it requires sacrifice. You see, anyone can show up when it's easy. Anyone can honor their word when it feels good. But leaders, true leaders, they live in commitment all the way through to the finish line. This is the fourth quarter, and it's not waiting for January 1st. It's not about starting fresh someday. It's about proving to yourself, to your vision, to God that you are faithful with the time, the talent, and the opportunity that you have already been given. Because here's what I know. How you finish this year is the momentum that you carry into the next. So the question is simple. Will you do differently? What actions will you take? How will you rise to live fully aligned with your word, your vision, and your faith? The clock is ticking. The year is not over. Your story is not finished. Your next title and level is waiting for you. And the final quarter could be the exact breakthrough that changes everything. If you decide right here, right now, to combine your faith with bold, relentless action. I love you, and I love you enough to speak truth into you all the time. To be that voice that's going to call you on your greatness. I want you to keep believing. I want you to keep moving. Of course, I want you to keep leveling up. It is time to show the world, your family, your team, and your future team what is possible with faith and action. Because when you're not living in faith and action, you're actually taking away the dreams of somebody else. You're the bar, you're the pace setter. Your faith and your action will either help people succeed or give them a reason not to try. And I want you to realize that you have that much responsibility. Love you, friends.